Hey everybody, welcome to a multi-part series where this is going to be a pretty life-changing event for us here at A Glimpse Inside. So what you see behind me is my backyard, and I'm not sure if you can see all the children. Yes, they're enjoying it. Well, what we've got here is we've got some markings for a new slab to be poured, a concrete apron, and then another small slab of concrete over there for storage for utility trailers and whatnot. Then we're going to be building a shop, a standalone shop that's going to be 20 by 30. I really hope you guys enjoy this journey with me. This is going to be a long process, but through the power of editing, we're going to make this really short for you guys and give you a glimpse inside this process. So here it is for now. Let's get to it. They're so cute. This should be fun. Let's go. Okay, so what you see behind me is the actual driveway that's going to go up into that fence. You saw that fence in a previous clip. The slab is back there. So the idea here is that our house will have a second driveway. This is the first, right there, of course. And I'm like a kid in the candy store. This is so cool. So this is the idea. Concrete up to about 20 feet. Then pavers, a paver driveway leading up to the apron that is coming off of the slab. At least that's my vision. I've got it all contracted out. I'm my own general contractor on this, and I've got all these trades kind of coordinated to come in here and do this. So, and I'm still working full time. So you may not see the actual process being done on some of these trades, but you're gonna see the before and after, and it should be a wild ride. So without further ado, again, let's get to it. All right, another step in the process. You can see the slab is behind me, or the lack thereof. There's a tarp, a massive tarp over it. That is to hold in all the termite protection. There is pest control down there, and it's the weekend, and I'm actually gonna be around for this pour, which is great because I might get some footage of it. So here we go, let's get it done. All right, here's a quick tip. If you're ever gonna tackle something like this on your own, I'm essentially my own general contractor for this. I'm contracting all these different, subcontractors out here to do all these services, but you can save yourself a bit of money, not only by doing that, but by also doing some of the work that they don't have to do. Now, a little known fact is that electricians don't like to dig. Did you know that? So I've dug a trench from the house essentially to the pad, and I've got this electrical conduit that I'm gonna install for them. Here in Florida, it has to be below 18 inches. Different counties have different codes, just so you know that. But save yourself some money and do a little something for the guys who are gonna be doing the work. They'll appreciate it, and you will in the long run as well. So let's go ahead and get this done. So I picked up a few pieces of this gray electrical conduit. This is 1 1/4 inches in thickness. Reason being, I need enough room to run all the wires from the panel in the garage up through the attic and down the chase that is coming out where the electrical for my air conditioner outside is. We're gonna go ahead and use that opening in the house. But this is, reason being I'm doing this myself is because, like I said before, electricians do not want to do this kind of stuff. I promise you. And if they do, they're going to charge you an arm and a leg. So I spent the better part of an afternoon digging a trench and go ahead and put this in place. As you can see here is the slab. I've run the longer piece up into the building, and then I've got the smaller piece there, you can see. But now it is time for concrete. This is actually a pretty cool moment. By the way, if you have nosy neighbors, you'll find out who's nosy right now the moment you get service people coming in here and are changing the landscape. My goodness, I couldn't believe how many people came by and said, well, what are you doing? Either way, the shop's gonna be roughly 200 feet away from the actual street, so we needed a concrete pump, and that's what we're doing here. We're loading up this concrete, or a mud as they call it in the industry, and we're just gonna run it all the way back to the slab. They're gonna fill in the footer first, essentially working their way back. This is a 12 by 12 inch footer around the perimeter of the slab, and process is pretty simple, although I would not want to do this myself. It takes a coordinated effort, a really smart team of guys who've done this before to do this right, and to see them coordinate and do this all together was a pretty cool sight, as this guy agrees right here. And that's going to be for an air conditioner pad off to the side. I may or may not use that in the future. We'll see. The plan is now to put a little split system in there. But as you see, it's been about, I would say, maybe 30 minutes. And they've already gotten, I don't know, about 70% of the slab poured. And now it is time to go ahead and trowel it smooth. This is a 2-part process as well, where they do it with a broom, as you see here, for a little bit of rougher texture, or they can do it with a smooth trowel for a smoother texture. The rough parts are for the aprons, and the smooth parts, again, are for the actual floor of the shop. right, so this is the state of my backyard, actually my front yard at the moment. Those, as you can see, are a ton of pavers that are going in this gap right there. I can do this, yeah, right there. So that's where they're going. This culvert has just been poured today, as you see here, along with the initial driveway pad that is gonna lead up to the shop. So, good progress today. Just got home from work. Looking forward to this. All right, so next day, about 7 o'clock in the morning, and the paver bases showed up. They're gonna dump it right here, well, on the front yard. This is not ideal, I guarantee you that. But since the concrete is so new and it's only been poured for about 24 hours, it's not the best situation to back something up and dump something like that on there. So, although it's cured enough to cut, like you see here, they had to cut a little line to fit the pavers in. But, you know, we just didn't want to run that risk. And, of course, these guys, I'm back on lunch break, and this is already done. I've never seen a team of guys work so efficiently than Ronald and his crew, man. It is absolutely fantastic to see what they do and see how quickly they do it. I've actually got another paver patio. As you see, this pathway is leading all the way to it. I've got a video about that. I'll mention that here in a second. Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, so come home on lunch break today. Check this out. We've got a driveway. This is fantastic. I can't believe how fast and efficient these guys work. It is absolutely incredible. As you can see behind me, there's gonna be the little walkway to the actual, the pavers that they did in a previous video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link that video down below as well. But this is fantastic. Man, I'm so excited to get this done. So back to the front of the driveway where they cut that line in the concrete. When you are making cuts in these types of projects, you want to finish with solid pavers. And that's why they cut the concrete instead of the pavers as well. And now it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So these guys worked from around 7:30 to 4, and this entire project is done. Roughly 1,300 square feet of pavers, 2 pathways, a landing area, and then a driveway as well. I'm gonna peek over the fence here to give you a glimpse over into what it's gonna look like. Now, off to the left, there is another 3-foot pathway connected to the actual sidewalk that leads to the front door. That in of itself has been invaluable to be able to move tools into the shop. And of course, this is my little daughter, and the last thing she did was build a gingerbread. Yep, building a gingerbread house with grandma was the last thing she did. Either way, now it's time to play. These kids absolutely love this concrete slab. They run around on it for hours on end. Figured I'd give you a footage of it before the actual building was built. I wonder if they're gonna miss being able to do this. I think they will, but for the time being, I'm glad they're having fun. Don't make yourself dizzy, guys. Oh, Lord. So it's like not even 6:30 in the morning yet, and these guys are here already. This is crazy. So I've always heard that a crew of people comes in and builds a building in one day, and this is 100% true. They get started by laying out the windows, and believe this or not, on this trailer are 3 different buildings, all on one trailer, and I happen to have one of them that's about to be put up. So I just dropped off the kid at school, and I was gone maybe 30 minutes, and that was it. This process, man. You can build a building in, I don't know, a lunch break? Not quite. All right, at this point, I'm gonna film in little snippets of progress on this building. Really simply, these guys just are operating as one machine here. They know what they're doing. They don't really talk to each other that much, and they just go about their business very quickly and very efficiently. And I'll just let you guys enjoy the process of this building being built. Again, I didn't film every single aspect, but here you go. And with that, the building is done. The guys are gone and we are having a blast. Say bye. So the first lumber delivery of the new shop are 2x4s. All right, the building's up, and now you can see here that it's essentially all made of metal. But I want to put some wooden studs. I'm going to sister up some 2x4s up against the metal studs in there to give me a little more tooth, something to grab into when I do put. I think I'm going to clad the entire surface, at least the first 10 feet all the way around, in solid wood, in plywood. So anywhere I want to put something, I think this is a good investment instead of drywall. It's a shop, why not, you know? All right, so the shop's coming together nicely. You can see here that I'm starting to add some 2x4s, not quite on this window yet, on this wall yet. Sub panel's gonna go there. And these are all metal walls, but I'm putting the wood on either side. We're gonna put some here and then on this side of the stud as well. But let me show you something real quick. So to put a 2x4 up on these walls, I'm using self-tapping screws, but there's a bit of a problem. You're gonna see here that the heads of the screws that they're using to hold in the actual metal pieces to make the structure possible, they are protruding out. So there's a quick way to contend with that and get a nice flush fit, and let me show you how we're doing it. So I basically line a 2x4 up on the wall and I give it a good whack wherever the self-tapping screw heads are. Then you can see it leaves a little indentation on where I need to take a brad point bit, drill out a little recess where those screw heads are then gonna go. At this point, I'm gonna take another drill bit and I'm gonna drill 3 holes in the top, middle, and bottom of the 2x4, and we're gonna thread in a 2 1/4 inch self-tapping screw. That's gonna basically go into the actual metal. This is not exactly the fastest process in the world. It does take a little bit of time to make sure you get a nice bite on that drill, on that actual self-tapping screw. But once you do, that thing is rock solid and you are good to go. So we're gonna repeat this process all around the whole shop, which I just think is something that's gonna help not only with the spray foam insulation that's coming, but also to help us run electrical and to be able to clad the entire surface with plywood. Hey, baby. Hi. Yeah, it's my shop. What do you think? You like it? Hey, big stuff. You like it, buddy? This is gonna be fun. You know, it's times like these that I will always remember the process in building this. Of course, I want to get this done as fast as possible, but you know, pushing around my daughter on a lumber cart full of 2x4s is something, you know, I'll remember for the rest of my life. Really cool moments here. Okay, well, it's a busy day here in the shop. Yeah, absolutely. I am super excited to get this finished. I know I've said that phrase a lot in this video, but here's the deal. So a couple things we did yesterday. We put up a couple of sconces and I put up a floodlight as well at the top. And now I've got my miter saw back there. I'm finishing up cladding the walls or putting wooden studs on either side of the metal studs. And the reason for that is I want to be able to clad this entire shop in plywood, and I don't want to have to mess with, you know, drilling in self-tapping screws into the plywood itself. I'd rather do that with these studs. Also, it gives me a little bit of room and a leeway to actually run some of the electrical down the face of each metal stud instead of the sides. So I've done that. It's gonna, well, I'm gonna lose probably about 1 inch of space on either side, but that's okay. Quite frankly, I think I got enough room. Also, another thing I'm pretty excited about too is the fact that tomorrow spray foam is coming. So we're doing a spray foam insulation, and I've only seen it done on TV. I've never been around it when it's been done. Apparently it goes pretty quick. So I'm gonna film, if I can, some of that tomorrow. But right now we're gonna finish up cladding these walls. Cladding, why am I saying that word so much? We're gonna finish up studding these walls with wooden studs on the metal studs. So let's get that done. Oh man, well, here it is so far, guys. So I really appreciate you coming along on this journey with me, with us. It's been an absolute pleasure to build this thing. And I will say this is not something that YouTube has afforded me. This is 20 years. My son is messing with the tripod. This is 20 years of saving. This is an investment. And since I have this channel, and since I've started this as something really to help us, there's quite a few things going on here in the A Glimpse Inside world. And it all started a few years ago. Long story, I'm not going to get into it, but I realized that maybe, just maybe, this platform could help us out. And so far, because of the viewership that you guys have had with us, it really has. This was an investment, essentially. A place to build, to make, to share with you the knowledge that I know, what little of it that I have. But I appreciate every single one of you joining me for this project. And again, I cannot wait to get in here and dive into so many different shop projects and different techniques. It's really going to expand my knowledge, and I hope it expands yours as well. Thanks again for joining me, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. My name is Chris, and I'll see you guys in this new shop on those next projects. Thank you again, and take care.